Hey everybody, I just wanted to take this opportunity to extend some Christmas greetings to you and yours from my channel, my little teeny channel. But I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and a great 2023 to you and yours. It's been a rough year in some ways, but you know, every day on the green side is a good day. There's no such thing as a bad day. And what a great time of year, Christmas. Oh my goodness. Christmas is one of the marker moments in our calendar, and it's an ancient day, and it's a terrific time of year. And of course, we have so much good music that comes out of Christmas, and I'm always amazed when Christmas comes along how much different kinds of music are called Christmas music, and yet it is still a category unto itself that is coherent and makes sense. Christmas music, you know, you could be thinking of some Mariah Carey song that's new, or some carol sung a cappella that's been around for hundreds or even 1,000 years, and it all fits together. It's amazing. So all the styles, all the genres, all the approaches, all the perspectives of so many different people over the years we might categorize differently otherwise, but it all comes together in this great thing called Christmas music. Right now, I'm just playing it on my wife's cell phone, but that's the Silverbird Duo Christmas CD that I did with my late friend Bob, and he was a really good guitar player, very musical, and he always... He and I we got along well, but we had a very similar background. We both grew up with FM radio, so we both knew a ton of like FM classic rock songs and singer-songwriter folk songs. But we'd also both grown up in churches, so Bob and I could play those hymns and Christmas carols. And Bob was always really good because he had sung so much as a kid in church. That's why church is important, or one of the ways to enter into music, certainly if you're of that background. But Bob had such a strong church background from when he was a kid. He could always kind of feel those bass and tenor lines, or come up with that little alto line. So we had this guitar duo, and we did that Christmas CD, must have been 15 years ago. And I still think it's maybe one of the best things I've ever done. And he always said that for himself. There's a link to it. There's a playlist. It's called the Silverbird Duo Christmas CD, and I also put it out a couple other places too. But that's what I don't know if you can even hear it, but it's actually, I'm kind of proud of it. But I love Christmas music. Speaking of which, this is the Elvis Christmas album. One of several, but this is one of the main Elvis Christmas albums. I pulled it out of the vinyl. I'm sure I have some other Christmas albums back there, but this is a good one. You know, and Elvis, among his many gifts and talents, he was probably one of the greatest gospel singers in the history of gospel music, as well as being the king of rock and roll. And he had, kind of like I was saying, he had grown up in a church, so he could kind of stand up at the pulpit and just sing a really reverent version of Silent Night, or get out there and do like Blue Christmas or something. But this is a really good album. It's one of several Elvis Christmas albums. You know, Elvis wasn't really an album-oriented rock artist, so he's one of the, you know, like a lot of people that were more AM radio. I don't think of him in terms of albums. I do remember seeing Moody Blue around in the 70s, which is a great album. But to look at the track listing here, you've got Blue Christmas, then Silent Night, White Christmas. You got the big heavy hitters there. Of course, the Bing Crosby is the main White Christmas. Then you've got Santa Claus. Santa Claus is back in town. I'll be home for Christmas. If every day were like Christmas. I don't know if you can see these. Here Comes Santa Claus. That's a good one. You know, Here Comes Santa Claus, I always thought had some pretty bad lyrics in it. You know, I did that video on bad lyrics. And Elvis was in there for Hound Dog and Burning Love. I'm a hunk of burning love. It's coming closer, the flames are never looking my body. But this Here Comes Santa Claus has that line, let's give thanks. Santa knows that we're all God's children if we just follow the light. So let's give thanks to the Lord above for Santa comes tonight. I don't know why it's not wrong. It's not bad. It's not unpleasant. I like it, but there was a kind of corny nature to it. I always thought that line was kind of funny. A Little Town of Bethlehem, another beautiful Elvis hymn, carol. Santa, bring my baby back to me. And then he's got this kind of outlier song on here I wanted to just mention. It's called Mama Loved the Roses. And I'm not all that sure why Mama Loved the Roses is on this album, but it's some would say it's a really model and kind of corny, overly sentimental sort of 19th century song. It's actually not that old. It was written by a guy named John Christopher, I think. I hope I'm getting that right. So it's not that old, but it's about my mother used to love the roses, and we found her old Bible with the rose still kind of pressed between the pages of the Bible, and of course you know what's coming, and at the end, the last verse, they go put roses on Mama's grave. It's actually kind of a Mother's Day song. I'm not all that sure what it's doing on here, but there are a bunch of good hymns about mother. I've always found them sort of humorous, although I love my mother in the same way, and she is departed. A lot of these seem to have the theme of departed mothers, which, if you think about it, is Elvis loved his mother. And at Christmas time, I'm sure that pain was it Gladys? But Meet Mother in the Sky, Tell Mother I'll Be There. These are some old hymns about mother. Tell Mother I'll meet her I'll be meeting her soon. It's not funny really, but it's sort of funny. And I'm going to meet my mother in the air. And these aren't really peppy, bouncy gospel songs. These are like really kind of done with the organ, almost sound like funeral songs. Some would say they were pretty corny, but they're actually great. I just wanted to close with Christmas thought that I wish all of you the best. It's been kind of a rough year in some ways. I guess every year is a rough year. If you wake up on the green side, it's a good year, as I often say. And you're still here, it's a good year, and you can always do better. But it's been a good year. I bought my Fender Esquire. That was kind of one of the highlights for me, and I really enjoyed playing it, just even in these kind of little videos I've been uploading. But I'm hoping in 2023 to get out there and play it with other actual human beings. It's a really nice guitar. I feel like it's one that's gonna grow on me even more, and it's a really nice guitar. My channel's done all right. For about 3 months, I privatized practically every video on my channel, and it was just almost kind of gone. I don't know why I did that. I don't know. I could go on about that, but anyway, I did, and still, we did all right. I've got 900 and something subscribers now. Just went over 900. I'm hoping to get to 1,000. I'm not that worried about it, but I would like to get to 1,000. But I'll just close with some thoughts. You know, we have a lot of division in our country. Probably maybe in your community. Some people have division in their families, and I think there's more, it feels like anyway, just anecdotally, maybe that's not true, but it feels like there's more division, more divided families and things in our time. And the message of Christmas is peace on earth, goodwill to all. And that's such a great message. It's too bad we can't remember that all year long, but it's a powerful message of Christmas, and it's God coming to earth in the form of a child, the great miracle of the birth of Christ, but also just the positive view of humanity, that peace on earth, goodwill, joy and peace and love. Those are such good things that we associate with Christmas. And the milk of human kindness, as the Ghost of Christmas Present said to Ebenezer Scrooge in the Christmas Carol, that great 1840s play. But I was thinking a little bit about Christmas and Christmas music. One of my favorite Christmas carols, I'm not going to try to sing it right now, but it's, maybe you know it, it's I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. I heard the bells on Christmas Day. It's such a beautiful carol. And I was trying to think what my favorite carol is. And it's probably I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. There's so many you hate to pick, but that's a really nice one. And the text of that, there are actually a couple tunes you hear with it, and they're both beautiful. I like one better than the other, but they're both beautiful. But the text for that hymn was written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. I don't know if you know who Longfellow was. I'm sure you do. But he was a great poet in the 19th century. I don't think they read him in college too much anymore. He's too wholesome. He rhymes and he has meter. Apparently that's that diminishes you in too many English lit departments, but he was a great figure. He wrote the Village Blacksmith, Under the Spreading Chestnut Tree, the Village Smithy Stands. He wrote The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. He wrote that epic Song of Hiawatha, which is almost like Virgil's Aeneid for America. It's just a great book. And when I was a kid, a lot of people would know that. Longfellow, by the shores of Gitche Gumee, by the shining Big Sea waters, stood the wigwam of Nokomis. But just a great poet. But in the Civil War, we think we have so much division now. Just imagine the hatred and fear and angst of the time our country went through in the Civil War. And Longfellow wrote that beautiful last verse, those two last verses that ended up in this hymn, I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. And in despair I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill toward men. He said there's no peace. What's Christmas? We all hate each other. That's the pessimistic view, and we all maybe struggle with that. I hate Christmas. Why, everybody hates each other, so why do we bother going through this charade? I've definitely heard people say that, and maybe you felt that yourself. But the last verse of that carol says, "Then pealed the bells more loud and sweet. God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail. With peace on earth, goodwill toward men." And it's just one of the great passages of American literature, and a message that is for all people. Then pealed the bells more loud and sweet. God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail. With peace on earth, goodwill toward men. And what a great Christmas message. Still speaks to us today from all those years ago. Mr. Longfellow wrote those words. And that's my hope and prayer for you, is that you have a Merry Christmas, and hopefully you will enjoy some Christmas music. And, there's a lot of good Christmas music. I guess we could say there's some bad Christmas music. I tend to like it all. I was never too crazy about Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. I don't know. I love both my grandmas. They've both been gone a long time, but my other grandma, that song, I don't know if it was around or she didn't know it, but my other grandma was still around when that song was kind of popular, and she always hated that song, and she loved Christmas music. Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. She'd always say, "What in the world?" And I could still hear her kind of fussing about that song. She was a great lady. But anyway, there's so much good Christmas music. I hope you enjoy that. I hope you enjoy time with your friends or family or loved ones, or maybe just enjoy time alone. The thing that's easy to overlook is our need for a downtime, and I think Christmas is supposed to at least be, sort of a recuperation time, just a time to kind of re-energize and spend time with people you love, not go crazy with hectic schedules. I know that's easier said than done. But I do wish you all a Merry Christmas, and God bless each and every one of you, and happy holidays to you and yours. Thank you.